So since Instagram Live is something that I know terrifies a lot of people, I thought I'd create an entire YouTube video about how to create Instagram Live, some really quick, easy tips to help you feel better about making them, and also give you some reasons as to why it is so beneficial and why you might want to think about how you can start creating Instagram Lives as part of your ongoing Instagram marketing strategy. As always, do not forget to hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video when it drops to this channel every single Friday at 5 p.m. GMT. Try not to get too distracted by the two gentlemen over my shoulder. They're there, they're hanging out with us today for this video. Maybe they'll be here for the next one, depends if they behave. Now, without further ado, let's get into 3 key reasons why Instagram Live is so powerful. So apart from spending a little bit of time outlining your Instagram Live before you go live, which I recommend to everyone, it makes the live better for your audience and it makes the process and experience less stressful and overwhelming for you. Apart from that bit of prep work, going live is actually really quick and relatively easy. If you compare that to sitting down and planning content, finding the right photo, designing a graphic, writing a caption, that takes collectively a lot of time and energy. And for some people, writing captions is just really challenging and something that they don't enjoy. So remember that you do have that option to go live. And as with lots of different video formats, being able to see you and being able to hear your voice and see the way you move and get to know your quirks is the fastest, easiest way to build trust with your audience and to build intimacy and authenticity. It really is so powerful in a way that just isn't quite as possible with a static image and a caption. So the next reason is super compelling for anyone that thinks the algorithm is out to get them. Going live on Instagram is one of the ways that you could beat the algorithm. And I say that lightly because I don't believe in beating the algorithm. I don't believe it's something that we need to conquer in battle. But when you go live, a push notification is sent to the phones of all of your followers, and you jump straight to the front of the Instagram stories feed. This is amazing, this is huge. Unless some of your followers have turned on notifications for your content, which let's face it, is either nobody or very few people, then your followers are never getting notified of your content, ever. You know, we just have to rest on the hope and the assumption that our followers are checking in to Instagram every day. Most people are, obviously, but we rest on the assumption that most people are checking into Instagram, they're scrolling through their feed, and maybe, hopefully, they'll see our content there. Hey, that's our hope. But with Instagram Live, you can guarantee that they are going to be alerted when you are sharing this valuable piece of content. Not only that, but when you go live, you are interacting with a captive audience. They know what content they're expecting to see. They have decided to jump in and watch. And now you have their attention. And the final reason why I love Instagram Live is because you get 2 pieces of content out of it in one. So when you go live on Instagram, obviously you get the benefit of going live. You have the captive audience, you get all the notifications put to your followers. That's amazing. And then once you have completed that Instagram Live, once it is finished, you can save it down permanently as an evergreen piece of content on your grid as an IGTV. So you can make that piece of content work harder. And you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You don't have to then create a whole other piece of content off the back of it because you have it available to save down as an IGTV. This is amazing. I'm all about working smarter and not harder, and this is one of the ways that you can do that. Okay, so now we've talked about the reasons why you should go live on Instagram. Let's run through some quick tips to better prepare you to go live and equip you with all the knowledge you need to do so successfully. So tip number 1 is consider creating up a dummy Instagram account to practice on. Now, I haven't actually done this, but I do know some people that have, and this is particularly beneficial if you are petrified at the idea of going live, if it really is stopping you from doing it, your fear of just pressing that live button, you've never done it before, you don't know what to expect. Make a dummy account, make an Instagram account that you are just going to create for the purpose of practicing going live. Maybe you can, follow it from, you can be your one follower, your other main Instagram account, and then you can just practice what it feels like to go live. You can press the live button, you can talk to the camera, and just being able to know what it is like should help take away a lot of the overwhelm of the entire experience. Tip number 2 is to create a schedule of lives. I really recommend, if you are thinking about going live, try not to just think about going live as a one-off. No issue if you do, there's nothing wrong with that, but to really build momentum and to really get the most out of Instagram Live, I would suggest having a schedule of them. That doesn't mean that you always have to go solo live. Depending on what type of business you're running, you could bring on experts. You can now go live with up to 3 other people, so there can be 4 of you in that Instagram Live. So you could plan in some collaborative lives as well as some solo lives if you wanted to. But by having a schedule in place, it allows you to A, factor it into your content strategy, and it makes your entire planning just easier, more holistic. But also, you can start to build momentum and excitement with your followers. You can say to them, this is the schedule of lives, this is when they are happening. You can start using countdown stickers within your Instagram stories to build hype and get people excited and to encourage people to show up. If people know that there is a certain day and time when you are going live, they will start to learn that and they will start to show up, particularly if your lives are really value packed and they're short and succinct and they're just a great experience for people. You will start to see the viewer number every time you go live tick up and up and up. And a quick additional point to this one, because I realized I hadn't got it down on my tips, but it is similar to scheduling lives. Definitely outline every Instagram Live you do. You don't have to make a whole script. In fact, I really recommend you don't have a script. You don't want to be looking like you're reading a teleprompter, just going line by line through, because the whole point of Instagram Live is that it is a more intimate, more natural setting, and your followers aren't expecting you to be able to read everything like a script. They don't want that, and that doesn't make for a good live. But you should aim to know what you're going to say. And do you know what? When I did a live the other week, I had my laptop to the side of me and I just said to people, if I look away, it's because I'm just checking my notes. And that was it. I made a quick passing comment about it. But I did have some bullet pointed notes so that I kept on track. I didn't waffle. And I got to the point quickly, and that helps to keep people engaged. Tip number 3 is please just accept that not many people will turn up for your first 1 live, your first 3, your first 5 even. That's okay. I went live a couple of weeks ago, and I think that there were, on average, and it kind of went up and down and up and down, I think on average, there was about 22 people at that live. And I had at the time of record about 3,000 followers. That's nothing, but it's okay because that is what will happen. And that was a one-off Instagram Live. So, there you go. I hadn't really given people much warning. They didn't know to expect it. It was very kind of out of the blue. It doesn't matter. It does not matter because those were 22 people, 22 bodies who, imagine all of them in a room in front of you, amazing, that were listening to everything I said, and they were interacting, and a couple of people asked questions, some people hit the emoji button and there were hearts flying on the screen. There will always be very few people who turn up to your lives in the beginning, and you just have to accept that and accept that it's nothing to do with you. That is just the nature of going live. And just work through it, power through it, because the more you do it, the more people will show up. And it's just part of it. It's just a rite of passage with going live. So don't think that it's you, it is not you. The penultimate tip is to use slides if you want to. Now, I would actually suggest don't use any slides until you've gotten familiar with Instagram Live. So maybe when you've gone live 1 or 2 times at a minimum, then start experimenting with slides. And the reason I say that is because it can be a little bit overwhelming if you've never gone live before to then have to toggle around the screen, finding, where the button is to bring up the slides and, have you designed them properly so your face isn't being cut off and all of that. So definitely get familiar with the live interface before you get slides. But as you start to get a little bit more experienced, creating some slides which are the same dimensions as an Instagram story slide, but you do have to be mindful of where your live face is going to pop up, and just make sure you haven't got any text or imagery, that will be cut off by that. But having slides is a really great way of taking some of the pressure off of you and just your face talking. And it also makes your live more engaging for your followers. Unless your live is really slick and relatively short, people will they'll switch off, and they will, after a certain period of time, they will start to disengage. If you have some slides that you can flick through, not too many, but if you have a few that you can kind of use to illustrate your points, that will really help keep people retained and watching for as long as possible. And the final tip, which I touched on a few times, is keep your live short and succinct. When you start to become a bit more seasoned with Instagram lives, you get more practice, you feel more confident doing it, then perhaps you can think about extending the length of your lives. And if you have got other people on the Instagram live, then my advice is a little bit different. Because if you have guest experts or people that you're collaborating with and you're having a conversation with, or you're having a Q&A with, then obviously your Instagram live will go on a little bit longer, and that's absolutely fine. That will keep people engaged because it isn't just one person in front of a camera. If it is just you in front of the camera, keep your live short, and hopefully this will make you feel a little less stressed about it. Keep it short, keep it succinct. 10, 15 minutes max, that is perfect. You only want to be making kind of 2 or 3 points within your Instagram live. And that sort of time, that duration, that will help to keep people sticking around. The longer you go on, the more you talk, you will start to see the viewer number drop off. So just make sure that you don't pack too much into your Instagram live and that you get straight to the point. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button so you never miss a new video when it drops every single Friday. And just before you go, don't forget to check out these 2 videos here. This one about how and when I first started making money through Instagram, and this video here about how to increase your reach and discovery on the platform in 2021. See you next week for a brand new one, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.